with my new Empowered Moments video for the week of Monday, August 22nd through Sunday, August 28th, 2022. For this week's weekly Empowered Moments video, we're going to be using the Psychic Tarot by John Holland for the main message for everyone. Your special message card this week, depending on your stone of choice, will be coming from the Crystal Angels Divination deck. So we are almost through the month of August. Can you believe it? Next week, we're going to be going into a brand new month, the month of September. So be on the lookout for the monthly Empowered Moments video for the month of September, which is going to be complete with the numerology vibration, astrological transits of significance, messages from our angels and guides, as well as a special message card depending on your stone of choice for that. However, for this week, let's go ahead and start out with an empowered moment. We have a lot of astrology going on this week, and two of the highlights are that Uranus, the Great Awakener, is turning to retrograde motion, and we have a new moon in Virgo. So let's settle ourselves in here to do an empowered moment, and let's close our eyes, relax our bodies, clear our minds of all thoughts, and just focus on the present moment, the here and now, letting everything else just fade away for the moment. Let's visualize or sense or feel or just know that we're surrounded in golden white light of God's source energy, all that is. Let's take in a deep breath, breathing in that golden white light, that golden white light of unconditional love and healing, peace and guidance. Let's breathe that into every cell of our bodies, and as we exhale, we're letting go of all that our body, mind, and soul no longer needs. And as we focus our attention on Uranus, the Great Awakener, the planet of liberation and freedom, the planet of change and redirection, we call in and ask for that energy of liberation and freedom from situations or circumstances, mindsets or belief systems that are holding us back. We call in the energy of change and redirection, and we ask that the change and redirection be to something better, to realign us to our highest truth and wisdom, to bring in epiphanies, higher intuition, higher knowledge, to set us on course for the positive change and redirection, the positive liberation and freedom energies that will properly align us with our truth. And we focus on the energies of this new moon in Virgo with the intention that there'll be a new way of perceiving, a new way of thinking, a new way of understanding our lives, the situations in our lives, and any redirections that come into our lives, as Virgo is a sign that rules the mental processes. We ask for that clarity and that logic merged with discernment and higher intuition to be the energies that are birthed during this new moon in Virgo. Let's do one last deep, healing, cleansing, balancing breath. And when you're ready, And in your own time, you can open your eyes, returning to this time, this place. And let's go ahead and take a look at our stones of choice for the week. Okay, so the first stone of choice is Larimar. These are all going to be special intention pendants. This is a raw piece of Larimar. It's wrapped in silver wire, infused with the qualities of Master Number 33, number of Christ consciousness, and increased psychic and healing abilities. The energies of the sign of Pisces, sign of universal healing and dissolving of blockages from this and previous lifetimes. The energies of the element water for fluidity, creativity, and intuition. And Archangel Raphael's energy of healing of the emotional body and opening of the heart chakra. Archangel Raziel's energy of alchemy and magic, and the energies of the divine feminine power of the priestess. And this stone, Larimar, is also associated with the dolphins and with ancient Atlantis. Okay, put that over here. Well, we'll put it back here. Stone number 2. This is Aqua Aura. And this aqua aura is also wrapped in silver wire, Reiki charged with the vibration of Master Number 22, the number of spiritual power on all planes, and the Master Builder. The energies of Uranus, planet of higher dimensional energies and connection to the God mind, the opening and balancing of the throat chakra, ear chakras, crown chakra, for speaking one's truth, increased clairaudience, and receiving higher information and messages from the angelic realm. Archangel Michael's energy is infused into this one, Archangel of protection against psychic attack and energy drain, as well as leading one to the next step on their highest and most important destiny path. Okay, and then stone number 3 here is Shadakite. And the Shadakite is also wrapped in silver wire, Reiki charged with the vibration of Master Number 11 and Master Number 33 for increased psychic abilities, including clairvoyance, clairaudience, claircognizance, and clairsentience, with the energies of the planet Neptune and Uranus for connecting to the higher spiritual realms and the God mind. The activation of the crown, third eye, and throat chakras for opening up to higher guidance and wisdom. Having clear inner sight and vision, speaking one's authentic truth, and with the energies of Archangel Uriel for creative inspiration and wisdom, as well as Archangel Michael for strength, courage, and leadership. Okay, so again, your stones of choice for this week are the Larimar, the Aqua Aura, and the Shadakite. So let's go ahead and talk about the astrology for the week. There's lots going on, so let's try to get through this in a timely manner. So we start out on Monday the 22nd with Mercury, planet of the mind, the ego mind that rules our thoughts, ideas, perceptions, and communications, in his home sign of Virgo, which is very much about discernment and also logic and analysis. And that's going to be in a positive trine aspect to Pluto, power, transformation, death and rebirth. All of these things is what Pluto rules. And since this is a positive connection, we can really delve down deep to understand the inner workings of our own mind, to understand with discernment and logic what's really happening, usually on an inner mental body level. Now we can understand what's going on around us as well in situations and circumstances, but I always think of Virgo as this very internal processing of information, and with it connecting to Pluto, Pluto likes to dig down deep beneath the surface and really understand what's going on, especially on the subconscious level of our mind. Also on Monday the 22nd, the sun is moving out of Leo and into Virgo for the next month. It'll be here from the 22nd of August till the 22nd of September. So Virgo season is upon us. And again, Virgo is all about logic and analysis and discernment and details and making a plan or coming up with a strategy of how to take things step by step on your path. On Wednesday the 24th is one of the big things this week. It's Uranus, the Great Awakener, turning to retrograde motion at 18 degrees of Taurus, almost 19 degrees of Taurus, 18 degrees and 55 minutes. So this is something that's going to shake things up a little bit. Uranus likes to awaken things and bring change and redirection and surprises and strange and unusual occurrences. It's in Taurus right now. Taurus is an earth sign, so it's a little bit more grounded here in this sign than it might normally be in some other signs. But on an earthly level, this can kind of bring things like earthquakes or volcanic activity, because those things are of the earth and of nature. There could be some unusual instances happening on the earth level or the nature level with things. Now, Taurus also rules money and finances. So Uranus slowing down here to turn retrograde might shake things up or bring a few surprises or unexpected occurrences with money and finances and personal resources. Taurus also rules our values. Our values might undergo a shift of some sort, a change of some sort. We might be liberated or freed from something. Taurus also rules our sense of self-worth and how we value ourselves. So that also might undergo some sort of change or a little bit of a shakeup to where maybe we're feeling a little bit more insecure, or maybe conversely we come into a little bit more clarity and find what it is that we really do value about ourselves, and then make some changes and redirections in our lives accordingly. Now, we're not just going to feel Uranus turning retrograde on Wednesday, the day it actually turns retrograde. This is something that has been intensifying, the energies of Uranus intensifying over the past week to 2 weeks. So the beginning of this week, and even if you're watching this a little bit early, will have felt this the past week as well as the few days afterwards. So just look again for surprises and changes and freedom and liberation energies, and people wanting to break free of limitations or status quo energies. Uranus can open up our claircognizance and our clairvoyance and our clairaudience. It opens up especially that God mind energy, so it's especially associated with the crown chakra. We may feel a little bit more electrical because Uranus rules electronics and technology, and that's within our bodies as well as real electronics and technology. So we might, have things, computer, phone, that kind of communication, internet, going a little bit wonky, a little bit. We also might feel, like I said, a little bit electrical within our bodies. Maybe we're not able to sleep, or maybe conversely, we're needing more sleep because of this kind of electrical charge going on. Also on Wednesday, we have Venus, and she's highlighted this week too, but the first thing she does is on Wednesday, she connects with Chiron, the wounded healer. So Venus is about love, relationships, also about money, finances, and personal resources. She's also the ruler of the divine feminine and the receptivity of blessings in her life. She's in Leo right now, so she wants to be seen and recognized and appreciated for her love and her beauty and her kindness and her generosity. She's connecting, as I said, by a trine to Chiron, the wounded healer. Now that's a positive aspect, so hopefully we have some healing in the realm of self and self-value, and maybe we'll have healing in regards to our sense of self-identity, or perhaps we'll have healing in a financial or a money matter of some sort. This could also possibly bring up some wounds, even though it is a positive aspect. We're still dealing with Chiron, the ruler of past life soul wounds here. So we might be feeling a lack of confidence or courage, or just really needing to take charge of our lives and put the responsibility for our lives back in our own hands. On Thursday, the 25th, we have Mercury, planet of the mind and the mental realm, moving into Libra. So it's leaving Virgo, its home sign, moving into Libra, the sign of partnerships, relationships, balance, harmony, equality, an idea of fairness or justice. So our thoughts, our ideas, and our communications with other people, we're looking for that sense of equal give and take. We're looking for compromise in our relationships, and this is all of our relationships. Now, Mercury usually zips through a sign in 3 to 4 weeks, but it's going to be in Libra until October 29th. And that's because it's going to be going retrograde here. Not this week, but coming up in September, it's going to go retrograde in Libra. And it's even going to dip back into Virgo for a few days before it turns back to direct motion and then goes back into Libra. And as I said, we'll stay in Libra then until October 29th, giving us a good long period of time here to try to heal certain aspects of communication within our relationships, to where there's more of this, again, sense of fairness and justice and equality, and that we're able to communicate what our needs are, but also listen to what the other person's needs are, which is part of that Libra balance. On Friday the 26th, we got Venus again in Leo, but now she's challenging Uranus and Taurus. Well, remember, Uranus just went retrograde in Taurus on Wednesday the 24th. So it's still at its stationary point at 18 degrees of Taurus. It's still at a standstill, not really moving. It probably hasn't moved even a minute yet within 2 days. And so this is going to magnify the energies of Uranus, liberation, freedom, change, redirection. And here Venus comes in, ruler of love and relationships, money and finances, to challenge Uranus. So there could be some sort of a shakeup, a change, an unexpected occurrence or situation that happens in those areas that were mentioned that Venus rules. Also on Friday, we have another challenging aspect. This time it's between the Sun and Virgo and Mars and Gemini. Remember last Saturday actually, Mars, the warrior, planet of energy, action, and forward movement, moved into Gemini. And it's going to be there for 7 months because of a retrograde cycle that he's going to be going into soon. Now, Virgo is considered a mutable sign, a changeable sign. It's not grounded, it's not focused, or it doesn't do a very good job at staying focused and grounded. And Virgo is more, again, ruling the mind and the mental realm. Mars and Gemini is a mutable sign. So again, it's not grounded, it's not focused, or it has a hard time being grounded and focused. And Gemini also rules the mental realm. Actually, both of those signs, Virgo and Gemini, are naturally ruled by Mercury, the planet that rules our mental processes. So with the Sun in Virgo in a square aspect to Mars and Gemini, on top of that, remember we just talked about Venus squaring Uranus, it's going to be kind of a challenging day. Would be best to hold off on making any decisions rather than doing it on or around that day, because we're going to be a little bit discombobulated. Mentally, we're going to be confused, we're going to be scattered, we're going to be not grounded, not focused, we're going to be vacillating back and forth with these mutable signs of Virgo and Gemini, where the Sun and Mars are. So it's not a great time to try to have a focused, grounded conversation, and it's not a great time to make some sort of like a final decision, because again, Venus squaring Uranus wants to break free and liberate herself in the moment. And we're going to be, again, scattered and confused. And so it's not a good combination to make decisions about money and finances, as well as relationships or partnerships. On Saturday the 27th, we have a new moon at 4 degrees of Virgo. So that new moon at 4 degrees Virgo, meaning the sun and the moon are both at 4 degrees Virgo, coming together, initiating a new cycle of energy, initiating a new beginning. And this new beginning is in the realm of Virgo, logic, analysis, discernment, the mental processes, making a plan, having a strategy for where we want to go next, writing out the details of that plan, paying attention to the details of what's happening in our lives. That new moon is in a challenging aspect to Mars and Gemini, and in a challenging inconjunct aspect to Jupiter, which likes to exaggerate things or make things bigger than they are. Now, Jupiter is known as the planet of prosperity and abundance, but an inconjunct from the new moon to Jupiter is kind of a challenging aspect. It means that we have to make some adjustments in situations in our life, or adjustments in how we're thinking or perceiving about things in our life, in order to make these energies of Jupiter, abundance, and prosperity to work properly, okay? So the, again, shadow side of Jupiter is that it might exaggerate things or blow things out of proportion or make things bigger than they are. And that Virgo energy, where the new moon is, sometimes gets into a self-critical, self-judgmental, or doubting sort of energy about things, because Virgo is all about logic. It wants tangible evidence that something is true or not. And sometimes we just have to trust and have faith, which sometimes Virgo has a hard time doing. And on Sunday the 28th, to round out the week, we go back to Venus again. Venus, again, still in Leo, where she wants to express and be generous and be loving with an open heart. But now she's opposing Saturn, which is the ruler of restrictions and limitations and doubts and insecurities and delays. So she might be feeling a little bit held back here right now. She might be going through some sort of karmic lessons regarding expressing herself, or karmic lessons in relationships, or karmic lessons in creative expression through material ventures that deal with money and finances. So Venus kind of having a hard time this week with the connection to Chiron, the wounded healer, then Uranus, which shakes things up, brings in this freedom, liberation energy, and then Saturn, which brings almost the opposite of this restriction and limitation and insecurity. Okay, so that's a little bit about what's going on astrologically. Let's go ahead and take a look at the messages from our angels and guides. Now, we have a lot of cards that decided to flip out, fall out, come out when I was meditating and shuffling. And I did happen to see the first card as it flipped out. It flipped out and was very apparent what it was. And it is the sacral chakra. So, because I saw it sort of ahead of time here, I decided to give a little bit of information on the sacral chakra. And, we know that the sacral chakra is about creative self-expression, and it's about passion and sexuality, right? So I'm going to give you just a little bit more information on that. So the sacral chakra is linked to pleasure, sexuality, and joy, sensuality, the giving and receiving of pleasure, creative self-expression, birthing energy. It's connected to healthy emotions and our inner child. It's connected to the divine feminine. Now, when the sacral chakra is stressed, if there's a stressed or challenging influence with the sacral chakra, we're dealing with wounded emotions. We're dealing with potentially secrets or deception. We're dealing with fear of judgment or fear of being found out about something. We're dealing with repressed emotions, the inability to experience emotional satisfaction or sexual satisfaction or intimacy. We might be dealing with nightmares or night terrors of some sort. Blocked sacral chakra can include feelings of detachment, isolation, anxiety, loneliness, low libido, and lack of creative inspiration. So why do I bring all of those challenges up? Because the next card that came out, we have 6 cards in total, so it's 2 cards and 2 cards and 2 cards together. The card that came out with the sacral chakra was Major Arcana 16, and in this deck it's called Disruption. Now in the traditional tarot, this is the Tower card. The Tower card usually shows a skyscraper being hit by lightning. It's on fire. People are falling out or jumping out of the skyscraper. The skyscraper looks like it's being shaken and maybe falling apart a little bit. So it's about structures in our life that all of a sudden are not as solid as we thought they were. But in this particular card, it's called disruption. And it actually shows, it shows these blocks of a person, which could be made into a tower, right? But it's talking about the physical body here. And with the sacral chakra dealing with our emotions and our feelings and creative self-expression and sensuality, sexuality, and all of those things. And with some of those challenges of a blocked sacral chakra, anxiety, loneliness, isolation, etc., that I mentioned earlier, it has the feeling to me with this card coming in afterwards that there's a disruption taking place in the sacral chakra area. There's a disruption to our emotions and our feelings. In other words, there could have been maybe some trapped emotions and feelings that all of a sudden are shaken loose, disrupted, made to come up to the surface in some way. And this can be partly because of Uranus turning to retrograde motion, kind of shaking things up a little bit, shaking up that solid foundation of the Taurian energy. Remember, Taurus rules our sense of self-worth too. So those feelings and emotions could be shaking us to our core where we're not feeling worthy and deserving right now. There's a disruption in the field that's happening. And if you look, it almost feels like this person is not aligned properly. So I always think of, when I see this card, that we're being realigned, that we're going through a realignment process. So our sacral chakra is being shaken up a little bit, or things are being shaken loose where it's been kind of congested or crystallized, in a sense, in the cellular memory. Things are being shaken up and loosened up, freed and liberated from Uranus, so that a realignment can take place, so that this disruption can turn into something that's healthy and beneficial and peaceful and operating well. The other thing that intuitively comes in is that we're in Virgo season now, because on Monday the sun is moving into Virgo. Mercury is already in Virgo. If we think about what Virgo rules in astrology, as far as the physical body, it rules digestion and assimilation, which is going to be part of that sacral chakra. And it rules the intestines, right, which is part of digestion and assimilation. The intestines, the intestinal tract, digestion and assimilation are ruled by Virgo. That's all covered by the sacral chakra. So we might be dealing with some sort of digestion issues, nervous anxiety energy in the sacral chakra area. All of these things might be, again, indicating a disruption of that emotional feeling energy, that energy of what's supposed to be joy and happiness and proper experience of pleasure and proper expression of creativity and divine feminine energies. There's something going on, and let's say that it's, again, a realignment. It's a disruption so that we can be realigned and something can be brought into clarity, or something can be brought into balance, or into the process of healing. Okay? So those are the first two cards. Now, the next two cards, let's take a look at that first one. It's the Nine of Mental. In this deck, the blue border is the mental realm, and it's like the sword suit in the traditional tarot. So this is like the Nine of Swords. And it says at the bottom, suffering and silence. Well, again, Virgo rules the mental realm, our thoughts, ideas, perceptions, our mental processing, communication. Even, we could even say inner wisdom and knowledge, right? But the Nine of Swords is like we're holding on to something. We're suffering in silence. I feel like this, again, kind of goes with the first two cards, that we're holding on to something And maybe we're really needing to communicate with someone, but we're holding on to our words, or we're not expressing ourselves. Or this could just be about within ourselves, and maybe it doesn't have to do with another person necessarily, to where we're just frustrated or sad or depressed or confused on an internal mental body level. And it's kind of building up because we're not expressing it, whether it's, again, to someone, to a therapist, to a friend. It's just kind of building up, and it's regurgitating itself, right? So we're just sitting in silence and suffering with all of the lower thoughts and perceptions that we might be having. Again, that's the shadow side of Virgo can be like that. Again, it's anxiety and confusion and doubt and fear and insecurity and self-critical or self-judgmental energies. So I feel like this is that 9 of Swords. And again, Uranus might be shaking things up and letting things loose, which is that previous disruption card. Now, the card that came out with this, it's another mental card. It's the 7 of mental. Now, those swords, those of you that know tarot at all, know that the suit of swords can be a little bit difficult. There's only, very few cards in the suit of swords that are more looked upon as positive. We don't want to look upon these as negative, though. We want to look at them as an opportunity to heal something, change something, or redirect something. But the 7 of Swords says deception and envy, and it has this person kind of taking off this mask. We could say that we're wearing a mask of illusion. We don't want to see something, or we're not allowing ourselves to see something with clarity. Now we're needing to take that mask off. We're needing to see something more clearly. The number 7 numerologically is about inner wisdom. It's sort of like the owl totem or the hermit card. It's about going within and analyzing and looking deeply at what's going on in our psyche. So we can look at the 7 of Swords as that. We need to go within, we need to have silent time, reflection time, meditation time. We need to go within and understand more deeply, and from a place of higher wisdom and knowledge, what's really going on in here. Why are we having these energies on the mental body coming up right now? Well, again, it's an opportunity to heal rather than suffering in silence, rather than dealing with deception or anxiety. We want to understand what is the purpose of these thoughts and perceptions. Where are they coming from? Is it part of a karmic pattern that we keep playing out? Is it something from our childhood or from our ancestral wounding on some level that needs healing? Remember, the ego mind likes to trip us up, right? The ego mind likes to keep us in a place of fear and anxiety. And a lot of the times what those thoughts and perceptions and even emotions are all about are not really based in the reality of what's happening. Now, sometimes we can say they are based in the reality of what's happening, but a lot of times it gets blown out of proportion. And the number 9 could be seen a little bit like that, where things are blown out of proportion. It's usually the number 3 that exaggerates things, but the number 9 to me is very Neptunian or very Piscean, to where Neptune and Pisces is kind of goes into this illusion, confusion, deception, illusion, and things are not grounded. Things are not seen clearly or experienced clearly. And so there might be a little bit of that going on. And then again, this can be, that self-critical and anxiety energy with the number 7, doubts and fears and whatnot, where we need to look and dig down a little deeper. The good thing about the number 9 is it's close to the next minor arcana, which is the number 10, before we go into the court cards. So we're getting near the end of something here, right? These are both kind of high numbered cards, the 7 and the 9. So This is saying that we've looked at these things before. We've experienced these thoughts and perceptions before. It's not new to us. We've been working on this for a while. We're getting maybe towards the end of being able to realign and to bring healing and peace to this chakra, okay? Now let's go ahead and look at the last two cards. And this one is a nice positive card. This is Major Arcana 0, and in this deck it's called New Beginnings. Now in the traditional tarot, this is the Fool card. The Fool, can be a little hasty or a little childlike or overly innocent, but this card, instead of labeled the Fool in this deck, it's called New Beginnings. And the 0 major arcana, the Fool, is the first of the major arcana, right? It's like starting out a new adventure, starting out on a new path, creating something new, or taking a step into something new, taking a step into this new beginning. And I think this resonates to the new moon in Virgo, right? The new moon in Virgo is a new way of perceiving or understanding or thinking about what's next on our path. We have this wonderful woman. She's got a staff. She's got this door to her back, almost an indication that she's walked through the door already and stepped out into the world, onto the world here, with a new idea in mind, with new adventures on her mind, a new vision that she's walking towards and into, these new beginnings regarding, okay? So she's on a journey. She's beginning a new journey here. And the card that came out with this New Beginnings card is the 2 of Physical. The red bordered cards in this deck are the Physical, which is like pentacles or discs in the traditional tarot. So this is the 2 of Physical, or like the 2 of Pentacles. And at the bottom it says movement, choices, and decisions. I almost wanted to say possibilities, so let's add that too. Movement, choices, decisions, and possibilities. And we can see here, there's kind of like 4 windows or doorways that this person is standing in front of. Each of the doorways or windows has a different color associated with it. They each have a different symbolism associated with it. Now the number 2, it's like either or, this path or that path, this decision or that decision. The card though indicates that there's more than 2 choices. So again, there's many possibilities here. We might need to make a decision of which way to go. We might need to make a choice regarding a situation or a circumstance or a relationship or a direction that we are thinking about going into. But there may be more than 2 choices. There may be more than 2 possibilities. You know, we've got we've got the realm of it almost looks like sky or air, earth, fire, and what's the other element that I'm missing? Earth, water, air, fire. Earth, water, okay, air and fire. So the blue would be more like water, even though it looks like there's clouds there. But either way, this is saying that there might be many different areas of life to where we need to make a decision, or many areas of life where there's other different possibilities. We might be dealing with the material realm. We might be dealing with the inspirational realm, the idea realm, the feeling and emotional realm, to where we have to balance, right? The number 2, we have to balance and weigh things out, look at the pros and cons, think about them, meditate on them, in order to make a decision of what we want to do next, where we want to go next, what step do we want to take next, okay? So this is, again, as we move into this new moon energy, and it's initiating something new for us. And Uranus, just previous this week, was shaking things loose, shaking up the status quo, shaking out the old crystallized energies, and bringing in something new, something liberating, something freeing, something different, something unusual, something inspirational, something innovative. All of those are keywords for Uranus. So think about those things when you think about Uranus here and what this message is all about. Okay, let's go ahead. Boy, we spent 40 minutes on that. Let's take a look at our special message card depending on our stone of choice. So for those of you that chose the Larimar pendant, Larimar, special message for Larimar, special message. This one's calling my attention. Let yourself sparkle and shine with the opal. The opal, I believe, is the birthstone. Well, I should know this because I'm an October birthday. Opal is birthstone for October, for Libra mostly. Let yourself sparkle and shine. It says you are guided to be bold and show your bigger than life side to the world. We see this person with a sparkling heart chakra, a sparkling crown chakra. The opal, if you know the opal at all, it kind of sparkles and shines when you kind of twist it and turn it in different ways. There's little different rainbow colors in an opal. And so to me, the rainbow colors are a symbol of hope, a symbol of blessings. And depending on what color of the opal you're drawn to, think about the chakra that might be associated with that color and what that chakra might represent, like heart chakra, relationships and feelings. And maybe the bluish tint, would be third eye, new visions, new ideas. So think about those different colors of the opals and think about opening up the crown chakra to clear cognizance and opening up the heart chakra to clear sentience. Just really immersing yourself in the intuitive capabilities, your intuitive gifts, talents, and abilities. The opal is a watery stone, so it does deal with emotions and feelings and intuition here. And again, we'll read the message one more time. Let yourself sparkle and shine. You are guided to be bold and show your bigger than life side to the world. Express yourself. Express your emotions, express your feelings, express your creativity, express your innovation to the world. Okay, let's put that back in the deck in case somebody else gets it. Excuse me. And then for those of you that chose the Aqua Aura pendant people, special message for Aqua Aura. This one keeps calling my attention when I open my eyes, so we're going to pull that out. Garnet, purification and detoxification. Immediately think of the sacral chakra here, but the garnet actually rules the root chakra as well, which is our sense of security, groundedness, and focus. It says purification and detoxification. It's time to release physical and energetic toxins from your life. Again, we have some orange color in here though, and I think that sacral chakra message from earlier also applies with the garnet, even though garnet, again, like root chakra. So root chakra, sacral chakra, our sense of security, our sense of stability, our emotions and feelings, our creative self-expression, our passion for life. These things are going through a detoxification and purification process, which is that disruption card, which is realigning us. It's shaking things up, purifying us, helping us to detox what we no longer need to hold on to in those lower two chakras. Release them and let them go. Again, that's the realm of the digestion, assimilation, and the intestines of Virgo area, okay? So this is where we're clearing out old, lower vibrational trauma energies, discordant energies, toxin energies. You might also think about supporting your physical body through a detox process by eating organic fruits and vegetables and eating simply, maybe some broths, drinking purified water, a lot of cleansing of the water, purifying your physical body. Maybe taking some extra supplements or supplementation, herbs or herbal teas or vitamins that can also help with the detox, purification, and detoxification process. Okay? And then the last message was for Shattuckite people. Okay, so Shattuckite people, special message for Shattuckite. Special message this week for Shattuckite. Okay. This one's calling my attention here. This one is Aquamarine, Divine Life Purpose. Aquamarine is similar color to all of our stones here this week, but it says, trust the signs and your inner guidance, which are leading you to fulfillment. Divine life purpose. So what is your divine life purpose? Seems like those of you that chose the Shattuckite are heading towards that divine life purpose. You're thinking about your life purpose, your life mission. What am I here to do? What's my next step? What do I do from here on out to move forward? Trust the signs. So trust your higher soul self and messages you're getting from within. Trust your angels and guides. Trust any kind of animal totems or other types of signs from the universe. And trust your inner guidance, as it says, which are leading you towards fulfillment. What do you need to be happy, joyous, and fulfilled? And then trust what you're receiving as far as messages, as far as what to do next, how to make a plan and take that next step. And maybe even work with Aquamarine if you have any Aquamarine. Okay, so those are all beautiful messages. I send you all lots of love and light and blessings. Thank you so much for your support and your positive comments on my YouTube channel and on my Facebook. Thanks for following me on Facebook. I have 2 accounts under Colleen Lemma, and the other one is Colleen Lemma - Sacred Soul Empowerment. Sending you all lots of love and light and many, many angel blessings. Namaste.